Alright, so today I come at you with a simple question. Is Street Fighter 6 a balanced fighting game? And a lot of people recently have been saying not really to no, I've seen, and a lot of it has come from things like this. So what you're looking at on your screen right now is some statistics pulled from CFN of character representation in each master rating band. So you can see that, for example, in the 2000 MR band, which is really hard to get, I haven't got 2000 MR, there's a whopping 10 Kens, 7 JPs, 4 Camis, you know, there's these characters that people often put at the top of their lists, highly represented. And then all the way down here we've got, you know, Dhalsim and Lily with 2 and 3. And it's pretty consistent across most of the columns. The characters like Ken, JP, you know, Luke, Marissa, etc. are pretty heavily overrepresented at the top, and these characters are represented at the bottom. So a lot of people think the game is very unbalanced at the moment, but I'm gonna make the thesis of this video that Street Fighter 6 is actually incredibly balanced. It's easily the most balanced first iteration. It's one of the most balanced of any that I've played. I have experience across all versions of Street Fighter 4 and 5, and I would say the current version of 6 might be the most balanced. That might be a controversial statement. Before you go into chat and yell at me that I'm a JP main and that I'm only saying it's balanced because I'm a privileged JP player, trying to imply that JP isn't that much better than everyone else. I see your comments, you're already writing them, just pause. Take a second, breathe in, okay? I know what you're thinking, but I come equipped with data and statistics, alright? I've got the facts on my side. So, for those who don't know, the CPT season has officially kicked off in Street Fighter 6. As of about 2 weeks ago, we've started all of the World Warriors and the online events and the Premier qualifiers. We are fully now underway in the competitive pro season. And we've had about 20 events so far. There's a lot of things going on, it's hard to keep track of. We've had about 20 events so far. And I've been making some stats. I've been collecting some data to see how represented every character is in these events, because these are a good sample for like how balanced the game is. And I put together this little spreadsheet right here. I've got data on my side. Let me just move it over so you can see it better. Okay, so I went through every single event, every single major tournament that's happened so far, whether it's a CPT event or a extremely, you know, high-profile invitational, things like Gamers 8 and Rebel Kumite and Evo. And I tracked down which character or characters, because some people use multiple, had won all of them. Because I wanted to know how overwhelming some characters were at the highest level of play. And so this is what I've got. Bearing in mind, as of right now, the CPT website is kind of broken. The results page is a dead link, and the rankings haven't been updated for half the events in like a week. So I actually went there, I went through and I manually checked a ton of events. I had to find some obscure Twitter accounts. Some of these were really hard to track down. But this is what I've got so far. So as you can see, we've got the event here and the winning character. And obviously it's not just a case of characters. Before you say it, yes, I know characters don't win tournaments. Players win tournaments, but still, you know, bear with me here. So yeah, so we've got the first 4 here, which are the big offline events that happened initially, which were won by, you know, Angry Bird won Evo with Ken, Kakaroo won Gamers 8 with JP, and then down here, from this point down, it's all online events. And it's a lot of the characters that I think people expect, but what's interesting here is the sheer representation of all the cast. So as well as the ones that you'd expect to win things like Ken and JP and Luke, for example, we've also got unusual ones, you know. A Ryu player won the Germany World Warrior, and another Ryu player won the UK World Warrior. I hear that he beat some JP fraud in grand finals, but I haven't got details about that yet. Some scrub called Broxy? I don't know. Someone told me it was a wash. I don't know. But yeah, we've got 2 Ryu players. We've got multiple Kimberly players in the list. We've got a Kimberly here, and we've got a Kimberly here. We've got a Dhalsim, you know, Mr. Crimson's been going hard. multiple Blankas. So I also made a little count here on the middle of how many wins each character has at the moment. And as you can see, Ken and Luke are currently the highest, which I think is fairly expected. You've got Chun-Li and Blanka. Chun-Li is kind of a controversial one. Some people are saying that Chun-Li might be a bit underrated right now. JP obviously nice and high up, DJ, Marissa, Kimberly again a bit unexpected. But I think rather than looking at like which characters are winning, I think it's just interesting to see what percentage of the overall cast this is. Because all of these characters in this part of the list here have won an event, an important major CPT event so far. As of right now, the only characters that have never won a major event are Manon, Lily, Guile, Jamie, Honda, and Rashid. And people are telling me in the chat that Kaba won an event that I didn't know about, so it's possible that Guile might not be in this list. And Rashid is kind of a controversial one. I didn't know if I should include him or not because he's a recent DLC character. So you can argue if Rashid should be in the list here. He's only been in the game for a couple of weeks, so it's not surprising that he doesn't have much representation. But in my eyes, for a game that's been out now for about 3 months-ish, this is an incredible representation spread. This to me reads like a very balanced game. To have this many characters already getting results this early into the season, we're definitely going to end up with every single one of these getting at least one, I'm sure of it, before the end of the first year. So I made this as well, just a little visual representation. So the top list here are characters that have won a major already after only 3 months. The bottom are characters that haven't yet, and Rashid again is a bit, you know, you can count him if you want to as hasn't won, but it's up to you. So I guess my point here is that it's not that there isn't a best and a worst character. I think I want to make that clear. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying that like JP is just as good as Zangief, because I'm not, okay? Characters like Ken, Luke, and JP are the strongest in the game, or some of the strongest in the game. And characters like Jamie and Zangief are some of the weakest characters in the game. But what I'm trying to say here is that the gap from the best character to the worst character is extremely condensed in this game. Yes, so in Street Fighter V, there was an enormous mountain separating the best characters from the worst characters. But I think the gap between top 1 and bottom 1 in this game is 1,000 times more compressed than it was in Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 4. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Street Fighter 6 is balanced? Do you think it's an unbalanced mess? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.